Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Notion Hub and this is the camera review of iQOO 90. This phone comes with a triple camera setup on the rear with a 50 megapixel primary camera with the Samsung GN5 sensor with optical image stabilization. That's followed by a 13 megapixel wide angle camera and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens. For selfies, this phone comes with a 16 megapixel camera. Now this is how the camera user interface looks like. It is pretty similar to other phones in the same brand. Now these are some sample shots. First I'll start off with the selfies. Colors are a bit saturated but they are pleasing to the eyes. Skin tones look good. There is some post-processing going on but overall it looks nice. Dynamic range and exposure control are decent. Now these are some portrait selfies. Edge detection is pretty good. Colors look a bit saturated but the skin tones look good. Overall, portrait selfies look pretty good. Now these are some selfies taken in low lighting conditions. Colors look decent as these selfies are taken in low lighting conditions. They're not too sharp and you can find grains, but that's to be expected. Now these are some selfies taken with the night mode. Selfies with night mode are decent. There isn't much difference compared to the regular selfies. Now these are some sample shots from the rear camera. These pictures have good exposure control and good dynamic range. Colors look a bit saturated but they are pleasing to the eyes. As for the color temperature, it is slightly to the cooler side. Now these are some pictures taken with the wide angle camera. Exposure control and dynamic range are pretty good. Colors look saturated but they are pleasing to the eyes. As for the color temperature, it is slightly on the cooler side. Now these are some macro shots. They are great, they have good color reproduction, they look vivid and look pleasing to the eyes. Now these are some portrait shots. Edge detection is good most of the times. Dynamic range and exposure control are decent. Sharpness is also pretty good. Color reproduction is good and the colors look pretty close to reality. Now even though this phone has a dedicated 50 megapixel camera, whenever you take a picture in the auto mode, that picture is automatically compressed using pixel binning. So for some reason if you want to take a bigger 50 megapixel picture, you can use this dedicated 50 MP mode. Pictures taken in this mode are usually bigger in size, have a lot more resolution and also carry a lot more details. Now these are some pictures taken in low lighting conditions. In low lighting conditions, this phone does a pretty good job. Color reproduction and the sharpness looks pretty decent. As for the colors, they are slightly to the cooler side. In complete darkness, if you take pictures with a flash, they look much better. Colors are pretty accurate, close to reality, and the sharpness is also pretty good. Now these are some pictures taken in low lighting conditions with the night mode. Overall images taken with the night mode look much brighter and sharper than the regular auto mode. As for images taken in indoor lighting conditions, night mode makes the pictures look brighter and sharper. Now for the video department, this is a sample footage recorded in 1080p resolution at 30 fps. This one offers stabilization and it looks pretty good. Exposure control and dynamic range are decent. Colors look slightly vivid but they do look nice. Now this is a sample footage recorded using the wide angle camera. This one also offers stabilization with the wide angle camera, so the footage looks pretty good. Exposure control and dynamic range are decent. Color reproduction is decent, but the colors look a bit faded. Next, we also have the ultra steady mode where the footage is much more stable. This is a sample footage. Next, we can also record video in 4K resolution. Footage looks pretty stable, exposure control and dynamic range are nice, color reproduction is also pretty good. Now, just like any other phone out there, we also have slow motion on this phone, and here's the sample footage. Next, we also have a dedicated nightscape mode for video recording. It's just like night mode for recording videos. We can get a much more brighter and sharper footage. So guys, this is the sample footage recorded using the rear camera of the iQOO 9T at 1080p resolution at 30 fps. Well, there is a background noise going on, but the audio is from the phone itself, so check out noise cancellation and stabilization. Once again, back to the intro. This video is being recorded at 1080p resolution with stabilization on. Just the standard stabilization on without the ultra night mode. So this is the kind of footage that you can expect in indoor lighting conditions. By the way, that's a Philips 35 watt tube light. There isn't any other light in this room at least. So this is the kind of quality that you can expect in indoor lighting conditions. I'll just walk around so you can check out the stabilization that is offered by the phone. So that's how it's gonna be. I'll just be against the bulb itself. So that's the footage. Next I'll be sharing the footage with Super Night Mode on. So guys, this is the sample footage for Super Night Mode on. Once again, the footage is recorded at 1080p resolution at 30 fps with standard stabilization turned on. Audio is from the mic itself. The main thing that you should look out for is how the footage looks. I mean, how bright the footage is. The stabilization should be pretty similar to the regular footage. So I'll just be walking around. Once again, the audio is from the phone itself, and there is still a background noise. So you can check out how good the stabilization and noise cancellation works. And once again, this is how the ultras. Well, it's the Super Night mode. So let me know how the footage looks in comparison with the regular mode. Now this is the sample footage. Footage looks slightly better than the regular video, but the difference isn't that huge. So guys, what do you think about the camera performance of this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video. With that said, this is Nikhil signing off. See you in my next video.